Okay. I'm just gonna let him slide out very slowly. Okay. Okay, you guys. Yeah, okay. There he is. He's in there. He's gonna be pissed when you let him out, says Gary. He's been being birthed from his box, says Debbie. Yes, wait, hold on. Let me just put the other box down. All right. Whew, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to take him out of the plastic wrapper, which is taped on top here. And then I'm going to do a photo of me holding the box. And then we're going to unbox the box. I wonder if there's any desiccants in this box. Okay, so you get 2 of these tapes, and then they were just covering here the top. So now Vicky Ricky says, congrats, it's a boy. Yes, it is. And there he is, you guys. What do you guys think? Isn't he something special? Let me do screenshots. So obviously he has those gorgeous eyeballs. They're painted though. And damn, he's heavy. So, photo. I have to find the right angle so that it doesn't reflect light too much. Maybe he should go more down. He's gonna fall. I lifted my knee to get this done properly. Come on, Chucky, give us the right, give us your chocolate side. Maybe upwards? Maybe like this. Ooh. Okay. Ah. Oh, it doesn't look that good. Yeah, I see. There's an issue with that. Let me do this again. Like this, he doesn't. And let me. This looks good. Yeah. I'm looking at it. I have the title, I have his face. So I should, what should I do? I mean, the thing is, like, if I do it more frontal like this, then we don't get the, I don't know what I'm, if I do this, no, we're done. Yeah, it looks good. It is a net. It is a net on his head. Yeah, for the hair. You got to take it off. He's very much like Vinny. Vinny from the Pizza Parlor in Manhattan. It's very Vinny. Hey, Sharon Cole. Hey, Sharon. Welcome. Hey, Edu. So cute. He has a hairnet to preserve the hairstyle. Yes, he does, Edu. Okay, like this. Because, you know, we can only unbox him once, so I have to do these photos right before. Okay, so we're going to pull this tab here. Open. Oh, maybe I should do a photo with the back of him as well. Okay. This is not an easy task, you guys. Giving birth to Chucky is not an easy task. Bobby, a little, not a bobby pin, a hair clip, a hairpin will help. Oh, yes, it does. This is magic, you guys. Little tiny hairpins. If you don't want to damage the boxes, always have them ready. Holy moly, he's huge. Just, all right. The moment of truth. He's going to be upside down for a minute. Get out, Chucky. I'm squealing, says Debbie. I know, it's amazing. Okay, we're getting there, you guys. Yes. Whew. There he is. Okay, so let me see. You guys. I'm slowly pulling. Here he is, you guys. Whew. Now wait, let me just... take a little photo with him out of the box. I mean, he's still in the box, but at least we don't have the plastic in front of his face. One more back. Now I'm going to show him to you really close up, the face without the plastic in front, and then I'm going to take him out of this sarcophagus. Let me do a screenshot of this as well. Yeah, let me do another one. Another one. And what do you guys think? He's cool, right? It's good to see him up close like this. Debbie says, damn. Gary says, oh my gosh. Letty says, gorgeous. Dacob, you should have took clear plastic off. What are you talking about? There's no clear plastic on him. And we want to see his nuggets. We are going to take him out, you guys. Hold on. So, now the next step of giving birth to the Seed of Chucky Doll is the monstrous part of it all. And I'm going to share with you what it is. This is the worst part. Look at this. This is what we're dealing with. I'm going to have to cut through all of this. And let's, no better time than now to do it. So let's do it. Don't do this at home, you guys. If you don't have parents or whatever, if your kids or something, because this is dangerous. Little sizzlets. I'm going to cut around all of these little bits and pieces because we have to take all of these plastic. Technically, I could try to cut through these plastic bits, but I don't want to damage his clothing or the foam body. So, it's a bit tricky, so I'm going to do it from the back. Oh, there's a desiccant in there, you guys. Ah, found a desiccant. There. There's a desiccant. I knew there was a desiccant here somewhere. So, oh, okay, so I'm just gonna cut through this. It's actually not that difficult once you have a system in place. So you see, you just kind of cut around. You don't have to like take all these tapes off. You just cut around all of these bits and bobs. So yeah, this is an unboxing part. You might think it's the boring part, but it is exciting because with every cut we make, we're one step closer to freeing Chucky from his prison. And once he's free, save yourselves because he is not here to play. You know what I mean? I'm cutting through all of these. Yeah, you can still see, right? At this height, you guys can still see what I'm doing. When we get to the lower parts where his shoes are, it's going to be a little bit more tricky because we have the metal wires as well. And those are a little bit trickier to deal with because you got to untwirl them. They're very thick metal. You can't just cut through them with these little tiny scissors. You know? Alrighty. Okay, now and I'm gonna do the portion that you guys can't see because I have to keep him stabilized up here, but I'm cutting down there at the feet. But I'll keep blabbering with y'all or to y'all while I'm doing it. So I'm cutting through one part. Oh boy, now the most difficult one is the metal gears. Okay. I'm gonna lift it up for you to see what I'm talking about. These little fellas here, I'm gonna have to untwirl them because yeah, there's no other way to do it. You gotta... Oh wait, I didn't cut through this one. There's one part missing here. Cutting through it. I mean, I understand, like, protecting, like, when you're packaging these things, like, you want it to be done right, but does it really have to be this crazy? Honestly? And I remember when I was unboxing the Good Guy doll, like Chucky as a good guy, I filmed that for my main channel a year ago, was it? And I had to edit and edit down because all of this, it takes forever. So it's like, I mean, now we're live streaming the whole process, so why not? But I had to cut down over 40 minutes of the, of the unboxage of it all. Okay. I don't know what they were doing, what they were thinking, how they twirled all of this together. Okay, I got one free. I got 1 foot free, and I'm doing the second one. It's like they were packaging Hannibal Lecter, says Gary. It's a bit much, to be honest. No need for all that, says Jizzes. Bread twisties on there? Yeah, they're not bread twisties, Debs. They're like 30,000 times more intense, more strong. And so you can't just like easily with your hands twist them. I would need a tool. So I am kind of breaking my nails to do this, but whatever. You live only once, right? Might as well. I'm almost there. It's like when you do a manicure, you're like, so, you haven't, you've been neglecting your nails, your paws for 30 odd years, something? Now we gotta deal with it? Here in the salon? Okay. All right, let me first, Chucky, let me first try to get your neck thing out because I don't want the neck to get scratched. See? This is super dangerous because it cuts like a knife. I'm going to throw that over there because I don't want to risk. any of this cutting through his clothes. Oh no, I totally forgot to do the arms. Oh my God. Chucky, you're gonna hold on just a sec. You guys can look at Chucky while I'm doing the wrists. They have another. The wrists have the metal blockage as well. Yeah, best believe the wrists have another blockage. Why do they do this? Okay, but they're not as intensely done as the legs were. They have smaller wires. The wires are less thick. Yeah, that was easy. It's already done. The wires for the feet were much more intense. So these here are the wrist wires. And these are the leg wires, so you could see the difference in thickness. The leg wires are much thicker than the hand wires, so they were harder to get off. Oh my God, you're falling out, Chucky! Hold on, dude. We're almost there. Okay, we got one more leg to go. You know, like talking while doing this, trying to be presentable, this is an art form in itself. This is so insane. I gotta focus on talking and unboxing. Okay. All right, so these wires, let me... Chucky and viewers, are you ready? Okay, hold on, let me get you by the neck. Now you are free, my friend. Okay. Are we gonna take your little net off? Yeah, are you ready for that? Probably so sturdy for the people who never take it out of the box, says Gary. I mean, how can you not? I love collecting in box, mint or whatever, but with the hairnet and all, I mean, he doesn't look that good in the box. You want to take him out, but I get it. I get it. You also could just be an inbox collector. Now the hair is a bit of a mess. We're going to have to work on it, and it is delicate. Oh, they did glue the hair a little bit here as well. That's good. Now, you know, you already know, but just in case you don't know, to not confuse him with Bride of Chucky Chucky. This is Seed of Chucky Chucky. Hold on, let me just try to do his hair a little bit. So he is slightly different. He's supposed to be different, at least. As different as he can be. Right, Chucky? You see how they use different shades of orange and burgundy? And the difference between this guy and the Good Guy doll, the Good Guy doll has a wig on that is glued to the head. This guy has rooted hair, I think for the most part, or all of it is. You can see all of the hair is rooted into the skull. So I need Edu to help me out with the styling of the hair. Julie says, wow, I'm at work, so I can only peek occasionally with the sound off, and each time Chucky looks more scarred up. Yeah, of course, we started, that was my intention. I started off with the good guy doll, and I wanted to get him more and more into this vibe. She said, I don't have much space. Wait, hold on, you guys. Let me just put Chucky down for a second. I have a huge, oh, we got 2 desiccants. Check this out. We got 2 desiccants in there. I mean, for such a huge doll, they could have had more desiccants in there. All right. So let's see. Now, we could style him with all the hair to the side. A little bit more punky. More devilish, but I kind of like to have him a little bit more boyish, boy band Chucky, you know? Speedy recovery. Oh, hi, Dacob, still recovering from my brain. Oh my gosh, brain hemorrhage. Oh, I hope you're doing well. Recover soon. No, I haven't seen, no, I haven't been checking. I'm live streaming, so I haven't been checking my social media. But thank you so much for sending me the link. Victoria says, I would have nightmares if he was in my house. Nah, he protects me. Debbie says to Edu, he needs your help. Yeah, Edu, we need, do you have the Bride of Chucky? LOL, Sharon says. I have the Tiffany. Tiffany, we just had her a couple of, in the live stream a while ago. In this same live stream, you can scroll back and see her. So the side of his head is amazing too. Now, if we're going to do the more punky Chucky, with all his hair to one side, being all rebel and whatnot, right? Then you have all of this detailing here on the side. Here's the paint job. Now, some people who got their Seed of Chucky's lamented the paint job on the skull because he's supposed to have metal poking out from underneath that flesh. And they said, oh, it doesn't have any kind of shading on it or, you know, black wash. This mine does. He's rusty and looking the paint job, you know. So what they did here with my doll, I mean, I've seen a lot of examples of this just being silver, just plain on silver. This guy here has a rusty finish. So they added, so you can see the silver, but you also see the kind of the yellow dirt, looks like almost like rust that got kind of, the metal got wet and then it kind of turned rusty. So you can see it even more here. Could this have been a better paint job? Hell yeah, it could have, but I'm fine with it the way it is. Now, obviously, you know, here they actually put in the metal kind of, what should I call them? And they actually glued it as well. So they stapled him and glued, yeah, the kind of metal staples, the ginormous staples, the industrial staples. But of course they could have done these stitches here. They could have been real stitches instead of just molded in there and then painted. Yes, they could have done that, you know, then the doll would have cost even more though. So all things considered, man, he's so cool. Look at him. Isn't he terrifying? Hold on. This is so freaking awesome. I love the hair falling in front of the eyeball. He is so badass. Chucky, Oh, yeah, let me do another one. So let me do screenshot. Yeah. Well, if it's metal with dried blood or whatever, it's going to rust. Yeah, no, the rusty thing is good, but people are saying like they would have had literal metal plates in there. You know, you could do a lot. You could cut out the sculpt. Underneath it, they could have done a metal plate. They could have put the plastic on top. These stitches could have been real stitches made out of thread. I have here, I can show you how it's done actually. You know, the fashion bunker. So here's a wonderful example of a Jeremy Scott for Adidas. This is a sample, by the way, not the prototype, but a sample of his kind of Madballs Frankenstein shoe from 2014. So it's been a couple of years. This is just a sample, so the gooey parts are different in the final version. This is the sample version. And all of these stitches here that you see, the leather has been perforated, and you did have somebody in the factory actually stitch through by hand and go through with this white. These white parts are stitched on. By the way, it's my favorite Jeremy Scott for Adidas sneaker, or one of my favorites, but I love the Madballs version. So you can see all of these white bits are in fact stitched, right? And then they glued on the gooey bits. The sample has a translucent slime. The final version does not have such a translucent slime. So this was just a sample, I repeat. But the final version also ended up having the... And this is a lot of work. Somebody had to go through with this. And yes, this is leather. This is not cotton. This is one leather thread that they've also colored in white. They had to find a system where to begin and to have enough of this one leather bit to go through all of these holes, through the whole pattern, and finish it off in the front. So it's doable. Of course it's doable. It's more than doable. They could have done it here as well. You know, they could have done this whole game, this whole spiel here also on the side. But he would have cost much, much, much more. You know what I mean? Sharon says, he is scary, a masterpiece. Jack says, oh my God, have the clean Chucky choking the stitch Chucky. The clean Chucky can't stitch. I mean, they could choke each other. We're going to do a comparison in just a second. I just wanted to touch base also on the details that do fit with Seed of Chucky. Now, Glenn in Seed of Chucky, he's much thinner than the Good Guys doll. Like the foam body is much thinner. Not too much thinner. We're going to do a comparison in a second. But so Glenn has a stamp on his arm that he's made in Japan. So we do have the same. I don't want to force him too much, but of course he's made in China. But the concept in the movie was that allegedly Chucky and Tiffany had sex in Japan, and that's where Glenn was created. Hence, on his arm, he has a made in Japan inscription because he was conceived in Japan. So, but also on Chucky's arm, we have it right there. That's a little nice detail. It's not painted. It's kind of dented in there or pressed in there. It's kind of a joke that they reference in the movie. He does have very different arms to the Good Guys doll. We're going to compare them in a second. They're much longer. The fingers are longer. Everything is much more elongated. He does have the scarred arm here. Here he doesn't. The made in Japan is only on one arm. It's only on the left one, not on the right one. And he is all torn and ripped. They do have bobby pins all over him. And in the foam, on the parts where he has been cut, you do have a paint job going on in the foam. as well as stitches poking through there. This is applied directly to the foam. It's a paint job. It is the foam body is molded this way, so it's already molded with the scars in it, and then somebody painted over it to give it an effect, an illusion of him actually bleeding. The quality of it, I mean, it's foam, you guys, and it's delicate foam, and I do believe that with time it will degrade and it will just turn to dust. Hopefully he's going to live a long life, as long as he can, before he starts all rusting and dusting. I have had the Good Guys doll for over a year now, and he's doing just fine, but he's always ventilated. I always, you know, I use him for all my live streams. He's moved around a lot. He's not stale or stagnant. That helps a lot. The foam remain flexible. I think these foams, they tend to degrade if you just kind of store them in the closet, sealed up in a box where there's no real oxygen. They're not getting used. You need to use them in order for them to stay more vital. However, I do not lift their arms up and down because it's a one full-on foam body. It doesn't have any cuts around the joints or anything. So if you were to lift up and down the arm like this all the time, lifting it up and down here, the foam will rip. And they tell you it's supposed to rip because with time you're supposed to create that free movement for the joints, but they do have a metal wire inside of the body. The body has a metal wire. So also, if you kind of stress the wire all the time, if you keep doing this bending part of the wire, it's going to break. So it's similar to this, okay? The wire inside his body is not this thin, but if we were to keep bending this all the time, you know that at this point, the stress on the wire here is going to be much. So you keep moving his arm up and down, up and down. At a certain point, it might break. But also, the foam might rip. And we have a lot of Chuckies where the foam did rip. And it's not a big deal because once the foam rips, he's just more movable. I just don't need to put my Chucky in some weird like position like that. And if I were to put him in a kind of a pose of him like flying or doing something, then I would keep him in that position. I mean, they're called props because, well, they're kind of for photos, you know. They would have these metal wired version puppets also from Sesame Street or any puppeteering really. They're made for photos. They're not really meant to be the raggedy doll that you kind of move around and play with. So they're posable, but they're not supposed to be just like every time you take him in your hands like this, you're not supposed to lift his arm and put it around your neck all the time because it's going to tear. It just is, and we've seen many examples of the foams on these little guys tearing. They have minimized the amount of foam. It is much, his little nugget legs are much thinner on Seed of Chucky than on the Good Guy Chucky. And the nuggets, also smaller nuggets. He has his little tiny tush. It's not as big as the Good Guys doll, but it's still there. It's still a super little nuggety tush. Now, he's amazing. He has the extension of his arms, the fact that they're a bit bigger, it just makes him look more alive. I think they did a great job with that. I think the proportions of the body, some people do complain that they're a little bit too long. The fingers are big. His arms are like the proportions are off. But to me, they work very well. Now, the difference between him and the Good Guys doll is that so you see, this is the foam body there, right? It's slightly different color than, we have this huge amount of plastic. This is not foam, okay? This is plastic. And it does turn, as you can see, it is attached there. So we have this, so you could pull it back a little. So you see, it's a very simple structure. The arm is attached to the inner skeleton of the body, and the skeleton, which is this kind of metal wire, is covered up in the foam. What is so cool about these Chuckies is that the sweaters are real knit, okay? It's a knit sweater. It's not just a printed outfit like we would have, like this little guy here. The stripes on his shirt, they're all printed. Here, it's not. It's all woven. It's a woven texture, so every thread has its color that it's supposed to have. It's knitted yarn, and he is looking for his next victim. Chucky, where are they? Where are your victims? Also, what they did here, amazing job. This is so amazing. The eyebrows. The eyebrows are actual hair, not real hair, synthetic hair, but they are punctured into the plastic, so they are rooted. His eyebrows are rooted. So look at that. That's amazing. Yes, I agree with a lot of the critiques that they could have done better paint around the eyes. You know, it could have been more intense, more bloody, more dark, more deep, more detailed. It could have had a little bit more of shading to it. It could have been more intense. The teeth could have been... They could have painted the teeth better too, but it's a doll. I mean... Do we really care that much? What do you think, guys, in the chats? Wish we could get his clothes in human size. No, but I've never seen really the same quality of these clothes, like knitted. Oh, hold on. We have a little pulled thread here. So in case you get, this is in general a rule of thumb for clothing. If you do have a little pulled thread on anything knitted like this is super easy to pull in. You actually can poke it in with a needle, but it's not that easy. Well, technically it's easy. You just got to know how. But if you have a little pulled thread, and this one is not really even that pulled, you can just kind of take it back in and have the pulled side on the inside. So this is something you do with very thinly knitted garments. But he is all torn, so it's fine. He's all cut apart. His chest, the foam chest, also has a paint job done there. That fake kind of stitch. That is all done by hand. They had to really tie him together here. They had to rip him apart and sew him back together. So he is a battle damaged, scarred Chucky. Oh my God, his tush is poking out, y'all. Let's see when you... His little shirt is there, the sweater, and then you got a little bit of skin there. He's radically awesome. He's great the way he is, says Robert. I think so too. Louis says, okay, just saying, he kind of looks like my ex. Oh, really, Louis? You dated a Chucky type of guy? I watch a lot of doll repainters. They make little wigs for them out of yarn. I mean, love him. He isn't scary, says Debbie. No, he's not scary at all. He's super cute. Let me check his eyeballs really close up because I'm just kind of always relating to you guys. I never really got a chance to look at him properly because I try to face forward in the camera always. Okay, so the eyes have... They are added extra. They're not molded into the facial sculpture. You feel that it is a plastic material that is placed inside of the sockets because you do see a separation between the lids and the eyes. So, but however, the eyeballs are printed or painted onto the pupils, and the eyes are painted onto that plastic ball that is positioned inside of the eye sockets. So I first thought that actually, from many reviews that I've seen, that his eyes are just, you know, this same material, one molded face, and then they just paint it on, but it's not. They are extra bits that are placed inside of the sculpt. However, they're not like the glass eyes that we've seen before from the Mesco toys, the talking little Chucky and Tiffany. They are painted. Now, let's bring in the good guy doll, but you can see his nugget little feet. And also the shoes, we do have the print at the bottom, you know, it's the good guy's shoes as we know them. They're perfectly done. However, His sneakers are a little bit darker than the good guy's sneakers. Now here's our good guy's Chucky. He's all, look at those little nuggets. He has a tush, okay? And he's more sturdy. This guy is a little bit thinner and paler. He's kind of like paler. Look at his healthy glow, and he's like all paley-maley. Hold on. Want to do a little thumbnail, you guys? Oh my gosh. Oh, me with my babies. This is so cute. Okay, wait, hold on. So you got to go a little bit higher, don't you? You got to go a little bit lower. Turn more there. Okay. He's still heavier than him. They're both heavy. The good guy doll is heavier. Definitely heavier. He's chunkier. His neck. Let me see. Neck-wise, they're kind of more or less the same width. So if we were to lift them by the neck, he's still bigger. Does he stand up by himself, says Victoria. Yes, but no. So they are very top heavy. So balancing them on their legs, you really need to lean them onto something. Or what I do, my Chucky is in the bedroom. He kind of is right in front of the bed. He's looking at me all the time. There is a stack of DVDs in front of him. Chucky DVDs and other DVDs. And they kind of arrive from the bottom up to here. So my Chucky kind of leans forward, and this arm leans onto the DVDs, because otherwise he would fall to the front. Because they have foam feet, and you see how bendy they are? So if he stands, he's going to kind of fall to the front at a certain point. So because this guy has very sturdy arms, and I don't keep bending them, he leans onto this, so all of the weight is up here, so he doesn't fall to the front. And I do have in the back the wall, so if he does lean to the back, he doesn't fall. Standing on their own, they can, but they're very, very wobbly. You got to be very careful, because they kind of tend to fall down, and you don't want to chip them. You don't want their noses to kind of chip if they fall down, so you got to be very careful. Now, this guy here, his little like waistline and all, he's chubbier. Let me see. Yeah, he's a little bit skinnier. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. They have the same color overalls. Maybe. Hold on, let me compare the color. But I want to say it's the same exact textile. And also they did a really good job at aligning, you know, the particular print, which this does not conform to Seed of Chucky outfit necessarily, but more to Child's Play 1. The positioning of this print, because obviously for who's really into every detail, this particular print right over there, the bat, the baseball cap, and the baseball in that position, to be kind of movie accurate to Child's Play 1/2. They have that here as well, but Seed of Chucky doesn't really follow that rule of what is printed where, but they did that. They, you know, because you could just create this fabric, huge amount of it printed, and then you just cut it into pieces to create the outfits, and whichever pattern falls you know, whichever position the pattern has for your particular overall is the position it has. Done. But no, they actually told them, hey, into the factory, when you're cutting up the corduroy, and yes, this is corduroy, by the way, this is not just any, this is corduroy, just like in the movie. When you're cutting the corduroy pants, be sure that we always want this logo right about here as much as possible. And they did it as well for Seed of Chucky. So this is more movie accurate with part 1, 2. This is not accurate with Seed of Chucky. Also, his overalls have a slightly different shading in the movie, but that doesn't matter. This guy's kind of more 1-to-1. Now, the shoes are very different in color. Oh my God, I can't lift you. I gotta lift you by the tushes, because that's the only way to do it. So you can see how different. So we got Seed of Chucky has a less glossy sneaker and a darker hue of red, while the Good Guy doll has a more flaming red color and more glossy. And also the mold is the same. It's the same mold, it's just a different color job. Different paint job. Also the white parts on the Good Guy doll, it looks more vintagey, kind of like a yellow wash. And a Seed of Chucky is white. The bottom part of the sneaker is it's white. And the Good Guy doll is a little bit more yellowish, more like a vintagey vibe to it. I don't mind either one of the two. No, I don't. At the bottom, they both have the same pattern. Okay, me with Chucky bazookas. This is a thumbnail. Or not. Gotta stand more in the center. They did do a different job on the sweater. The sweaters are different. It's not the same sweater. I'm just touching the consistency of the two sweaters. So the Good Guy sweater seems a bit thicker. It's just they're almost the same texture, but this one is a little bit thicker than this one. Now to the arms or to the hands. As I've said before, the Good Guy doll has his little tiny bent handlets, like we know from the movie. This guy has long honker fingers. Very different, right? Very, very different. Look at that. Very different hands. Let me do another screenshot of this. This is so funny. Just like that. No, like that. And when we lift them up, you can see how much shorter the hands go for the Good Guy doll before the cut, and how much more higher up Chucky goes. Of course, they don't have bendy fingers, bendy arms. I mean, hands, fingers, they don't bend. They're just like molded plastic in that shape, and they stay in that shape. So this means that they cannot hold anything. Trick or Treat Studios has kind of hinted at or announced that there will be more Chucky dolls coming out. They are planning on adding a magnet on an updated version of the Chucky doll, where they're kind of planning to, well, not on Seed of Chucky, because he's a one-off. They're not going to be doing him again, I believe. I think Seed of Chucky, if you love Seed of Chucky, and not a lot of people do, unfortunately, but they should. If you love Seed of Chucky, then you gotta get him, because he's not coming out again, I think. I mean, they will be making him again, but not in an updated version. But with Chucky, and they're probably going to do this for Bride of Chucky Chucky. Well, I don't know. But they are planning on inserting a magnet there so that when you buy his accessories, like a knife or something that has metal on it, you just kind of stick it there and it'll look like he's holding the knife, even though it's a magnet. Big honking hands, says Debbie, right? Big hands. I think those big hands are intimidating and scary, creepy. The ones on Seed of Chucky Chucky, they are. They are more intimidating than these. Although, yeah, these look more friendly, but they are creepy too, because the form of them is not really very human. The proportions are quite their own thing, I want to say. Now, final verdict, I gotta say, when I unboxed the Good Guy doll last year, the hair was all over the place. It was messy. I had to, and it's still like not perfect, the hair, but I really got used to it. I love the fact that his hair is like this. Now, I did cut it though. It was very all over the place. His hair, like the length wasn't right. It was too long on one side. So I took Chucky to the bathtub one day, and yeah, best believe I slowly, don't chuck it off just like that, because it won't grow again, obviously. If you make a mistake, you made it forever. So I could have gone a bit shorter. I could have cut his hair a bit shorter, like especially in this area here, because in the movie, in some scenes, he's quite short there and then long down there. So I could have scaled it more down, but technically just put it behind his ear and it's fine as well, the way it is. I love the back. This is very, very 80s Chucky. That kind of roundness that you see here, that is very much him in the movie. And, but I had to work to get it like that. I had to work with him. He didn't come out of the box and you just kind of fluff the hair and move it around and it's the right hair. You have to work with the Good Guy's doll hair. Also, the wig is glued a little bit too low down. It should be a little bit more up there. So his forehead is not as long as it should be, but that's all fine. Got used to that. This is the Chucky. This is my Chucky. So I love him the way he is. I trimmed the hair a little bit. Now, so there was work, but for the rest, he's just amazing. And I love how the hair works when you're kind of holding him like this. You see, this is perfection. This is Chucky, right? Gorgeous hair. But you had to work with the hair. So the rest, he's just perfect. This one we've just unboxed together now, and we've already seen that the hair, it's okay. Mind you, he is all very punk, very Mad Max in Seed of Chucky. His hair is like, he is the groovy, kind of punky Chucky that does whatever he does, and he is all over the place. So having this kind of creepy look is amazing. The fact that the hair is rooted and not a wig is really it's an upgrade. The fact that they're mixing the colors, that we have these shades of orange, for me, it really works very well. I'm liking that they're giving us different shades of orange. And the fact that you could just fluff him up, and the hair is a different texture than the Good Guy's doll. This one is kind of a little bit more moldable, I feel. I love the fact that just this little tiny, you look like more like Dennis the Menace with this thing. So the fact that he just kind of, you know, look, you could do a lot of things with his hair right out of the box. It doesn't have to be movie accurate. The doll moves. They use like 20 different dolls in the movie anyway. So there's always changes depending on what scene you're looking at in the movie. So it's fine that that he's not as perfect in every way, because you know what I mean? You kind of move him around, you twist him, and the hair has a good life of its own, because as you're moving him, you see what I mean? The hair has life. It does have that dynamic. It kind of shifts with him, you know? And it's kind of, it's really cool. So if you're like, a lot of people like to style it. They even use gel or sprays and they kind of set it in place. It's not going to move anymore. I think what is cool about this hair, it has almost like an oily sheen to it, texture to it. So it has a heft. It doesn't just like all bobble up and stay all up and frizzy. It keeps falling down. It has a heft and a weight to it, which makes it really, really beautiful. I'm definitely loving this hair. It is better quality than the Good Guys Doll. The Good Guys Doll arrives a little bit frizzy. This guy is, well, maybe because the other thing is a wig that is glued onto his scalp, and this is rooted hair, so it's a different quality of hair altogether. But I mean, he's a punk rocker, okay? He is. What do you guys think? Would be good to do a short movie with them, says Sharon. Has the Good Guys Doll have a wig on? Yeah, the Good Guys Doll has a wig. So that's so cute. Giving your son a haircut. You did a great job, Dacob. Thank you so much. I think those big hands are intimidating. Oh, yeah, yeah. So anyway, honking hands, shovel hands. So that's that, you guys. That would be my assessment of this guy. Will the foam hold? Oh, by the way, the shoes are detachable. He does have socks that are detachable as well, just like the Good Guy Doll. So they did go that extra mile to, you know, give him little socks. The foam is what it is. It's the worst part of this doll is that foam. And you know that foam is not, it's not going to last. You know that this guy's going to become dust. He's just going to become a head with hands and clothes and sneakers. So I wonder how we're going to find a solution to preserving him, like giving him a new body in the future. I don't know. I'm sure somebody who refurbishes dolls can kind of work out a system. But let's hope he lives a long life. Baby Yoda's going to get a heart attack. Baby Yoda's gonna get a heart attack. Yeah, Baby Yoda, he's here as well. Wait, let me take... Baby Yoda is... Wait, hold on. Baby Yoda. He's like, oh my God. He's like, oh my God, you guys. He's like, oh my God, you guys. You guys. Oh, I can't. Wait, I can't hold it. He's like, oh my God, you guys. It's like, I can't handle this. I can't. He's like, yeah, 2 of them now, huh? No. So that was Baby Yoda. Had a cameo appearance in this Chucky Halloween Extravaganza. Let me do another screenshot. Maybe that one is kind of cute with us all together here. Good Guy Doll. Chucky. I need to show your hair. See, it's a bit more frizzy. His hair stays up. It's a different hair texture than this guy. And he has to stand more up to look at you, and this guy has to go more down. So the angle of the body is also very different. So for Seed of Chucky to look more at you, he has to bend backwards. And the Good Guy Doll, to have that eye contact with you, you have to kind of bend him more forwards. So there's that difference as well. A little moment. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was the Halloween Extravaganza with Chucky. Seed of Chucky, Bride of Chucky, the whole Chucky, you know, we're dedicating this whole thing just to the Chucky world because of the TV show. So Don Mancini, thank you so much for letting all the kids in the world dream good dreams. And Jennifer Tilly for being the best Tiffany in the world. Thank you guys so much in the chats for having been with us. Hey, look at me just chilling with my dudes. Check me out. We can do another screenshot. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, Laura, hey, CC Spy. I didn't know you were still with us. Thank you finally to see him. Oh, Debbie, you know, I promised you we were going to do an unboxing. I just wanted a special occasion. No better occasion than the launch of the TV show, which is so amazing. I really wholeheartedly recommend all of you to watch it however you can, wherever you can and whenever you can. The TV show is cool. Sure, it's horror, it's a bit scary, there's a bit of gore, but the message at the bottom of it is very, very modern. And the fact that evil isn't always evil and good isn't always good, that to me is a very, very modern concept. I mean, it's not a modern concept, but in media, it is a modern concept. We're so used to, you know, cancel culture and everything is, it's either morally exactly fitting the box that it's given in the times we live in, otherwise it's canceled. Well, things aren't that simple. Things are never that simple. And this show shows us that things are never that simple. And I respect it a lot for that. And I also respect it a lot for the beautiful cinematography, great casting, great costume design, puppeteering is amazing. The special effects are great. You guys, what more can you ask from a horror movie? Well, what more can you ask from a horror movie? For a great horror movie to become a horror series, so you get more of it. 10 episodes of about 1 hour each? Hell yeah. That's basically what horror dreams are made of. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this live stream, be sure to tune in next. Oh, Laura's is always here. Thank you so much. Be sure to tune in next week as we count down to Halloween with another brand new topic. You could check out my last week's video and live stream, which was dedicated to nightmares. It was all about nightmares and the symbology of nightmares in culture. And we also got to share our own nightmares that we had together individually. But so last week's live stream was Nightmare. This week's live stream was the Chucky Halloween Extravaganza. Next week, the live stream might have a call-in, call-through Halloween costume night or day, depending where you are. So I'll update you on that. So you might be dressing up and we might get the camera working so that you could call in and you could just, you know, sorry, not next week. You see, for me, it's Halloween all year round. I meant on Halloween. Actual Halloween. On Halloween, we might do, if I manage to get the camera to work, I'll let you guys know. We can do costumes sharing and wearing costumes together on camera on Halloween. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned also for next week's Halloween live stream on Totally Dacob with a brand new topic. As I said, Nightmare last year, Chucky last year. Nightmare last week, this week Chucky. Next week is going to be a brand new Halloween topic. So, big round of applause for our mods. This was, Paul Unicorn. How's it going, sweetie? A round of applause for our mods, for Debbie, for Jack, for Audrey and Gary. For keeping the chat safe. And round of applause to all my wonderful co-viewers and co-chatters and the supporters of the Fashion Bunker and of Totally Dacob. This was a little bit of fun spent together with gore, but gore with aesthetics, you know, the stylish gore. Until next week, stay spooky, stay kooky, stay nightmarish, galoreish, fabulous. See you all next week. Never forget to never give up on Chucky love. Love y'all. Oh wait, is there any more chats, comments? Dacob, I am a Patreon. I hear you guys as I am. Hey. Yes, you can follow me, you can subscribe, you can join me on Patreon and become a member as well. On the main channel, obviously. So Totally Dacob doesn't have memberships yet because we haven't reached the amount of subscriptions we need. So subscribe to the channel, it means a lot. The more people subscribe and the more content we get to make. I will be wearing a Dacob costume, says Robert. Angela Q says, thank you, Dacob. Thank you so much. Aisha sends hearts. Robert says, oh, love it. Costume idea, you guys. Get your cameras ready. We'll be watching the Chucky movie, says Letty. Chucky movies, best thing to watch as you count down to Halloween. One Chucky movie a day keeps the doctor away. And Jenny, thank you so much. Letty, Robert, Debbie. Deuces. Love y'alls. Until next time, never forget to never give up on Chucky love. Bye.